Hey, Sean. Quick follow-up to a video I made a few days ago about buying aperture lights versus quasar lights, and it was really more about buying hard single-source lights versus buying a softer multi-source light. And I had said briefly, that the whole setup was done using quasars instead of using my typical aperture with the light dome on it. And I just wanted to follow up to show the setup a little bit, because I think there's a lot that I can do with this and that you can do with this. But I wanted to show how with literally just $180 worth of high quality cinema lights, I lit this setup of 3-point lighting really easily without a lot of specialty gear. But the big difference, again, I talked about this in the other video. This isn't like a DIY, like I found some lights on Amazon and like I'm using a shower curtain for diffusion. This is all actual production quality, high CRI LED lighting. These lights are used in Hollywood movies, in Super Bowl commercials. They're used all over the place. I don't understand why these aren't everywhere. And again, I still don't have affiliate links because I live in Missouri and they make it really hard to have affiliate links. If you want to buy a few of these things, Adorama sells them. I don't think B&H sells them. And you could probably get them on Amazon too, but buy your camera gear from a camera shop. The lights that I'm using are the $45 daylight balanced 2-foot LED tubes, and they come with the tube and the power cord. And my setup right here, right now, is this simple. I have one tube dimmed to about 50% as my fill light on this side. I have two tubes at full power going through a circular diffusion panel as my key light on this side. And then above me, lighting both the background and rolling down my, I would say my hair, but my hat and my shoulders is another one of these. My fill light is a single one of these tubes that, using red whips, I have just attached to a light stand. There's no clamp, there's no special anything about it, but it's holding it vertical, which I kind of like the catch light in my eye on that. And I've dimmed it using an Amazon fader for $10 that I got to dim it to 50%. But this is my fill light, and it's a really quick, easy, flexible way to do it. My key light, again, has two of these, and I built this board that has slots for 4 tubes, and they're T8 clamps that I got off Amazon. I got a pack of like 48 of them for $6 or something like that. And then I screwed these things into a piece of wood that I had, and then I'm just using a Cardellini clamp or a Mathellini clamp to hold this up and attach it to a C-stand. And then I put a Neewer circular diffusion panel, which are like $20 on Amazon. Again, buy your stuff from a camera store. Don't use Amazon. I'm sorry that I used Amazon for all this. And then the one overhead, I've got a Super Mayfer clamp holding it on a C-stand so that it's out of the way. So it's a super simple setup, and compared to getting the light, the key light from an Aperture 120D or 300D that I have with a light dome on it to soften it, it's the same type of light that ends up hitting my face. It's just way cheaper, way more flexible. And again, I could move this, I could dumb it down to one bulb. The last video that I shot with these, I had a single bulb on with no diffusion. And so I had a little shadow under my hat just because of how I had the tube going horizontally, so it casts light on both sides of my face, but it didn't really have much range vertically. And so now with the diffusion, I have them both vertically, so it's wrapping with the diffusion, and the actual bulb is a vertical orientation so that when I turn my hat around, it's not a harsh shadow underneath there. So super simple, super flexible setup. You should give it a try before you buy a $1,000 single source light. That's $1,000 into a light that can only be one light. And you could spend that $1,000 and buy a whole bunch of smaller LED tubes and be in a place where you could light anything, and that's so much more wattage that you can get and so much more power that you can get for that $1,000. And I'm really wondering why I didn't do it sooner. So again, this video repeated a lot of what I said in the last video, but I wanted to show the setup a little bit more because somebody said so in a comment and I agreed with them, and I didn't want to show it in my home studio because I don't think this is an impressive studio right now, but there's no shame in that. is what I'm telling myself. So thanks for watching. If you have any other questions, let me know. My goal is to do a video in the next few weeks when I've got a bit more space to set up and actually take these quasars and move them around and show what, 3 as a key and 1 as a fill does, what putting all of them overhead in a more cinematic setup does, and really show some range of these things, where how 4 of these little tubes can go a really long way to emulate the same light you'd get from buying a hard single source light and putting a ton of diffusion on it, like a light dome or something like that. So thanks for watching. If you've got questions or comments, throw them down below. If you made it this far, the subscriber thing, I'm appreciating it. It matters to me. I know it doesn't really help with the whole monetization thing directly, but it means something to me here. Thanks for watching. See you later.